Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel about cross stitch and every once in a while some other crafty stuff. Today will be, I think, short and sweet. I am firmly ensconced in my new Mania start and loved it so much that I spent multiple days on it. And there are a lot of videos coming out right now during Mania. So this way, I want to keep this one short so you can keep going and watching all of your favorite floss tubers. I do want to say a thank you to everybody who wished my son a happy birthday. He got a kick out of the birthday wishes. We had, I think it was a nice birthday. I mean, we made a special breakfast for him that he wasn't expecting with lots of waffles and whipped cream and sprinkles and all that good stuff. And he wanted nachos for dinner, so we made a big old nacho plate. Everybody did their own. And the gifts that he had asked for, he told me in the middle of the week. So the odds were he wasn't going to get any for the birthday, but he did get a couple. They did end up coming in on that Saturday, so he did get a couple gifts to boot. So I thought it was kind of a nice family day. We just spent the day low-key together and hung out, and it was really nice. So thank you for those of you who did give him a shout out. Speaking of shout outs, thank you so much. I was watching Flosstube over the last week or two and I heard my name a couple times. It's so fun to hear somebody shout you out. I am stitching away and then I'm like, oh, thank you. So I wanted to say a big thanks to Gail Phillips, who gave me a shout out on her last video. Gail films every 2 weeks. I love her stuff. She does a variety of different work, and I love the variety. And she does, and I haven't tried them yet, but she does biscornues. She's so good at them that she's gonna tempt me. One day I'm gonna start one, and it's gonna be because of all of her beautiful ones that she does. I have not tried it yet, but I think I might. So, and in her last video, she showed a piece that her great-grandmother had stitched. And it's an amazing, amazing shape. So cool. So if you get a chance and you don't watch Gail yet, go watch Gail and check out. It's just amazing how this piece stood the test of time. And then check out all our other good stuff because she's really great. And then the other one I just was watching this week, Bree from Bree Stitching Stuff. Her videos are every week, and usually I think it's Wednesdays. And that's on my Wednesday to-do list. Bree comes out with a video, I watch it. She's so nice and so bubbly and energetic and does a beautiful, beautiful work. And again, a variety of stuff, which I am finding, and I like floss tubers of all type, but I'm finding with my own style that I want to stitch things that are totally different from each other. And I'm really enjoying watching others with some of the things that I never would have thought I'd stitch, but they're tempting me, and she does beautiful work, and she's really fun to watch, easy to watch and listen to. She also quilts, if you are a quilter, but she does do that at the end. So if you are not a quilter and don't want to watch that, she's very cognizant of that and does a good job of separating it so that if you want to bug out and go watch somebody else, you can. And if you want to see some of her beautiful quilting work, you get a chance to as well. So thank you both, Gail and Bree. I really appreciated it. You brought a smile to my face this past week. And speaking of bringing a smile, thank you to all my watchers. I usually say that first, but I was so excited to give my thank yous for my shout outs that I want to thank you if you've come back and keep watching me. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. It really does. And if you are new, thank you so much for pressing play. I really do. I know I say it a lot. I appreciate it, but you are my link to this stitchy world, and I am loving the hobby. I picked it back up at such a good time, and I don't know what I'd be doing with myself during this time if I didn't have stitching and you. So thank you if you've pressed play. Thank you for watching. I hope you like what you see and you'll hit subscribe and come back, and feel free to leave comments. I love reading the comments, and I really do answer all the comments. And if you want to answer back and do whatever, or if you want to send me an email and chat about something, I love it. So feel free. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking in. All right, I said it was going to be short, and we're 5 minutes in, so let's get started. I have a finish. I almost didn't have a finish. I had to put in a couple rows of stitches this morning. If I hadn't had to frog yesterday, I would have had this done yesterday. So this is just a simple little pattern that was part of the Be Well and Stitch movement, where the designers would put out free patterns during this time period so that we'd have a little bit of stitchy inspiration and things that we could stitch and either stitch from stash or maybe place an order with our local needlework shops. So I'm going to show it from behind. It's from Lizzie Kate. So I don't want to show it too close because it's just the pattern itself. Be kind, be happy, be well. There's a house and a sheep and extra flower stuff. I didn't do all of that. I kind of toned it down a little bit and changed it slightly. Not too much. I kept the words. The words are what drew me. And so that's what I really wanted to stitch. And I wanted it similar color scheme to the first one I had stitched. Either I ever figure out how to make these into little pillows, or I find somebody who can make them into little pillows for me. That's the plan. And I thought, I'll slowly work on these and maybe have like a little bowl of some of these just nice pillows as a nice reminder. So this one, this is where it is. It's done. This is stitched on 18 count Misty Morning from Vintage Needlearts. It's a very, very pale blue. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on the screen or not. I changed all of my own colors. I love blue, and so the bee and this word are the same blue. It's tough to tell here. This is a slightly different blue, and then this is the lightest of the blues. And then I did a couple mauves for that, and then for the flower. And I think I tried to use similar mauves that match my other Be Well. It's just right here. So this is the one that I did first. So if I put them back, you've got one that's on the really dark blue, darker blue fabric, which would match more of the colors of the DMC. And then the flowers here are similar colors that will match the mauve there. And then I know which one I think I want to do next. And I think I might want to try maybe a more medium blue and kind of play around with that as well. This is on Lizzie Kate's blog. That's where I found it. I'm sure it could be in other places as well. And there's plenty of other things if you want to add all of the extra stuff to it to stitch. But the words spoke to me. So that's what I did. And have you ever done this? So I had done this word, and then I was doing the Be Well, and I said, I'm going to do the L's first because I can find that easier than trying to figure out where part of the B and do the E and then go backwards. So I did the L's, no problem. Then I think I did the E, yes, because then I did the W. And I'm stitching along the W, and there was an L. I had completely missed which area the second L was supposed to go in, and I had put it where the first L was supposed to be. So I had to frog all that out. And let me tell you, my stitches are not always great and tight and whatever, but those were really good stitches because they were really hard to take out. And I didn't want to rip the fabric after I had done so much. So I ended up having to rip out those L's, finish the word again. And then my big focus was this block yesterday. Cross stitch is humbling sometimes. I knew the dimensions, and I said, I'm just doing the one color. It's gonna zip, no problem. An hour later, you're looking, and there's like this little tiny area. And it brings you back to earth, and you realize, oh yeah, this is gonna take a little longer than I thought. But just enjoy the process. And that was I'm not sure I want to say meditative, but it was relaxing enough. I could watch something and just stitch, and I didn't have to really count or worry or anything because I had the outline. So it was just a matter of making X's. But that's my finish for the week. I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot more finishes this month because my 4 mania starts are so big that I know those won't get done. Maybe one of my 2 whips, because I do want to continue those during the month. I don't want to just drop them. I'm in momentum with them, so I thought that I would keep going with them. The first one is Country Cottage Needleworks, August Cottage. The more I do these, I think I may give these all to my mom with a wreath at some point. That's appealing to me more and more, so that she likes kind of decorative stuff, and I think she'd really like that. But that means I have to do all of them. I wasn't sure I was going to do all 12 months. Or I could mix and match. There's a lot of different monthly things as long as they were the same size. We'll see. So this is where I am. My goal for the week was to finish the house. I did that, and the tree. So houses, you know, are my kryptonite for whatever reason. I will pick patterns with houses every single time. And then I get to the house and I say, oh man, I got a house to do. But this time what I did, and I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it more and it seemed to go by faster. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll pick an area and I'll go all around and then fill in. This time what I did was I picked the center and I did say that window, and then I did out the shutters, and then I did some of the blue, and I kept going from one side and the other side outwards. You would think in theory that that would take longer rather than doing all the areas. But for whatever reason, it went faster, and I kind of enjoyed it. And I think it came out a little bit neater than they generally do. There's a little bit of carrying in the back, not a lot. I have to say, I think I've discovered a new way to do houses, and maybe they'll be a little bit easier for me. You know I'm gonna pick them anyway, easy or hard. I think I'm just a glutton. I like houses. This is done on the back side of Country Vintage Mocha. It's a lighter shade. I don't know what it is, but I've been doing all the houses on it. I think they are nice on it. And at this point, I'm just gonna keep going so that they are all similar in that way. Especially if I pick a wreath for my mom, they'll all match. So at this point, I have another tree. I have the little bench and the waves, and I think it's a little bit of sand underneath. There's a bird, and there's a couple of seagulls and some shells. I haven't decided yet what I'm doing. The shells are very crowded over here. If I do them, it's only gonna be one. It's not gonna be both. But I am definitely, after taking that Lizzie Kate and toning it to where I wanted and looking at this and saying, I don't want that piece. I'm really liking being able to pick and choose sometimes in patterns what I stitch, and maybe letting go of a part of it, saying, for me, it's just not, I don't need it. I'm a little bit of a, minimalist is not the right word, but while I have a lot of crafty stuff, my house is a little bit more simple. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word. So sometimes too many items in the pattern doesn't always appeal to me. But I am feeling the license to adjust it to my own, and I'm enjoying that. I made no changes to this. It's, as far as I know, yes, it's all the colors called for DMCs. All right, my other whip, Widow's Walk from Annie Beez. This one is done on blue ice fabric. It is 18 count, as they all are. I love the 18 count size. And I got a whale's tail. I started the water after last week's video, and I wasn't feeling it. And I love this pattern, so I was a little bummed. I'm kind of like, I love this pattern. I've enjoyed stitching it so much. What's up? And I finished through the water here, and I said, let's just start something else. So I started the whale's tail, and then I could fill in around here, finish the border, and I got my groove again, and I was enjoying it. I think especially too because if it's just water without seeing something, it wasn't coming to life for me enough. And so when I started the tail, and there's a little sand dollar or shellfish, not a fish, a shell, Starfish. That's what I wanted to say. Sometimes words. So that made it much more enjoyable. So I think what I'm going to do is, as I go along, do some water, do some whale. There's bottom stuff here, and then there's a cute little border around here. And I am pretty sure I'm going to nix the words. I think I like it the way it is. And I like the blue and white kind of background. You'll find with my new start, it's a little bit different kind of blue, but blue is definitely my color at this point in my life. I love it. But that's where I am, and I am enjoying it again. I really liked stitching this. If it is of interest to you, I say go for it. I love the pattern, and I love how she's done it. And that is it for whips. I have one start, because for Mania, I'm doing one start a week. And I know some people wouldn't necessarily call that Mania, but that's my Mania. And I loved doing this one this week. Oh, I have to show you on the iPad, because for my digital patterns, I do not make a color copy. So, and I didn't even have a black and white face copy on this one. I'm not sure why, but it's from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Hello Pumpkin. I love the colors, the owl, the fox, all the cute little animals in it. I've had this, I started cross stitching again. I came back to it, I don't know, last year, August or September, somewhere around there. And I saw this and I got it fairly early on. And then I couldn't decide on fabric, and I put it aside. So I said, for Mania, I want to start it, and I am loving it. It's my first Caterpillar cross stitch. It's not going to be my last. I really, really enjoy the colors. This is done on Nantucket Sky from Fabrics by Stephanie. I love it. I actually sent her an email and just said, I just want to let you know, because I like to tell people when I enjoy something I use of theirs. I said, your fabric is a joy to stitch on. I am enjoying it so much, and the color is fabulous, the quality is fabulous, and it's not stiff, Ada. It's not the floppy. It's just a joy. I stitch in hand, and I'm having no problems with it. And I did get a really nice thank you back from her. Really, if you find somebody, especially somebody who's doing their own thing, like she's dyeing this fabric, or a handcrafter of some sort, let them know you enjoy their work. It really, really means a lot. Whenever somebody writes back to me and really enjoyed something that I had made for them for my Etsy shop, it really makes my day. So I always feel the need to let others know that their handwork and their craft is fantastic. And I can't tell you enough, I love this Fabrics by Stephanie. I have another order coming. She has said during this time it will be a decent wait, 5 to 6 weeks maybe, and I'm okay with that, because I love how nice her fabric is that I'm willing to place that order and wait. But this is where I got. Now, there is a lot of color changes on this. This little hedgehog almost did me in. There's 4 different colors on him. He looks so great now. But man, I do have a mistake. I had made the mistake here on this leaf too, but I pulled it. You see the branches on this? It's supposed to be that darker blue. Well, for whatever reason, I had switched the symbols. I did the lighter blue, and the leaf was all lighter blue. And I changed this part. I haven't decided if I'm changing that, because then I'd have to pull out all those little flowers, which are multiple colors, are woven into the branch, which I had done first. So I'd have to pull the whole thing out. I think what I might do is do it all and then decide whether or not it bugs me enough to pull it out or not. But I love him. He is my absolute favorite. I love how there's little animals sprinkled through, and then all of the leaves are multiple colors. They're bright. I want to say this is charted in DMC. I love them. I love how it's going to look on this fabric. Again, it's going to be like just the blue sky behind it. And I'm really liking that. I think you're gonna start to see a lot of fabric like this. I'm jumping into color. I know you're gonna say it's a light blue and white, Laura. It's not exactly electric color, but I am loving it. And the DMC is a brighter color, so I'm branching out. I do have a Satsuma that I do want to start for Mania, but I'm waiting on fabric. I really, really want to try that, and that would be like a darker or a different fabric than what I would normally use. So if it comes in, fingers crossed, because I have everything for it otherwise, that will be a Mania start. But I love this. I didn't want to put it down. I loved it so much. And I don't mind having multiple whips. And I, in fact, enjoy stitching 3, 4, 5 different things a week just to kind of change things up and see progress. But this one, I adored it. So Caterpillar cross stitch, if you are interested in that. Very cute, easy to read patterns, and charted nicely. So I would suggest that. That's it. That's all my stitching. Shopping. I have none. Can you believe it? None. In fact, we've had no mail. For the last 2 days, my stitching chair is right by the front of the house. So I can see all the people walking by or the animals frolicking around. We have baby squirrels in the house across the street that are rolling around in one of the trees, which are adorable. And so I can see the mailman going by, is the long part of the story there. And for the last 2 days, he has driven right by our house, flown by our house. I guess there's no mail today. I do have a little bit of fabric coming. I won a couple pieces on Friday night, fight night last week with Brandy, Bestitch Me. And I think I have a fabric of the month coming. I think that, I don't know, it's the first month that I'm doing it. I don't know if she's sent those out yet. Maybe. So I should have fabric next week. I have not shopped for Mother's Day yet. I think this weekend I'm going to do a little bit of online shopping. I buy all my own gifts. Mother's Day, birthday, you name it, I buy it because my husband's always like, I don't know what you want. Go and get what you want. And that works fine. I kind of say the same thing to him. Get what you want. And then every once in a while we have an inspiration and we actually find something that we think the other will like and surprise them with a gift from us. But we're pretty much a buy what you really want kind of back and forth relationship. So Mother's Day, I think this weekend is going to be a little bit of a shopping weekend. So if you have anything that you love stitching right now and you would suggest it, throw me a line. I want to look for some new and exciting stuff. Not that I don't have wish lists all over the place and favorites listed. So it's not like I would have trouble finding things to shop for. But I'm always up for something new. So feel free. Let me know. And then next week, I have my One Mania start. I am going to talk about difference in colors between Caterpillar Cross Stitch and Little House Needleworks. But I am going to start Kringles. Now, the start of this, you know I start in the corner. So it's going to be some snow and roof. It's not going to be as colorful and exciting as Hello Pumpkin, but I'm really looking forward to this. I think I've mentioned this before when I had gotten the pattern. This really reminds me of, was it Macy's? That's in Miracle on 34th Street. Really reminds me of that. And I know it's maybe not, but it just makes me think of that. And that's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I love watching that every year. So I will be thinking of that when I stitch this. I think it's Macy's. Let me know if it's not, so that I can give the right credit. You'd think I'd know from the number of times I've seen it before, but I guess not. But that is Monday's start. This weekend I will work on my whips. I'm enjoying all of them, so sometimes it's a challenge to decide what I want to work on, but it will be a couple of them. I will work on a couple of them this weekend, and then looking forward to the start on Monday. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. We may actually get snow tonight. I'm really, really hoping not. And tomorrow is supposed to be a awfully cold day. So I think besides taking the dog out for whatever he needs to do, I'm hunkering in tomorrow. But I think on Mother's Day, it's supposed to be a little nicer. So hopefully we can get out and sit in the backyard, if nothing else, maybe walk around the neighborhood. And I hope you have a great weekend and a good week. If you are doing Mania, I hope you are staying sane during Mania. Especially if you're doing Sania, you're fine. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And my stitchy friends, we're doing this. We're getting through this together. You are so special to me. So thank you so much. And until next time, happy stitching.